Alright, so here we are. For those of you who don't know, this is it. Kart Double Dash. One of the most beloved. Yeah, bro, I'm just gonna let this play first, alright? Kart Double Dash, yeah. Nintendo Gamecube. What I find most interesting about this though, right? This is Mario Kart Double Dash, and if you name it by the number like they did with Mario Kart 7 and Nintendo 3DS, right? This is Mario Kart 4, and this launched on Nintendo Gamecube. Now, when you look at the cube now, a cube has 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. It has, it's like a fourth dimensional. That's what I said, fourth dimensional object. Well, yeah, and this is Mario Kart 4, so it's quite interesting how much is planned ahead of time. I definitely do have to see it. See how much time we got here? That's like 2 minutes. Nah, no problem. So I already went ahead, and this is my personal playfile, so like we've got all the characters unlocked and stuff already, or practically all of them, because I think you can also unlock Petty Piranha if I'm not mistaken, right? When you do enough in the game, and there's other parts to unlock and stuff as well, but I already got Gold Cup in just about everything. And for those of you who do follow my channel, right, who avidly follow my channel, you would know that a little while back I already did, I would call that like pretty much a test recording of this 50cc as well, but this is the real deal. This is the one that's going to go up as my playthrough for this. So let's go ahead, Mushroom Cup. So the thing about this, and I am going to mention that here, it happens to us once in a while. I was talking and blabbering off and playing. I did a whole flipping whole Grand Prix, and like, would you believe it, I didn't even remember to unpause the dang recording because I had to go check on something, and yeah, dang it. So I was saying in that playthrough there, pausing again. Alright, hold on a second. Alright, so what I was talking about in the previous recording is that the fact that this is on the Nintendo GameCube, right? This is the Mario Kart Nintendo GameCube title, and the Nintendo GameCube literally has the most unique controller in all of video gaming ever made. The analog is so precise that unless you use a Nintendo GameCube controller, right, you literally would be directly affecting, like, your game experience and stuff. The games are tuned for a GameCube controller. If you're not using a GameCube controller, like precision walking in areas, there's I don't know what to call I actually don't know the actual term you call the type of L and R buttons that the GameCube controller has. Imagine someone holding one of those water pumps, those like levers that people push down and pump water out the earth, right? Imagine a character in the game is holding one of those, and the further down you press your R button, the Xbox, the only controller that is like similar enough to that is the Xbox controller, right? They have L and Rs that adjust as precise as that, but it's still not the same, right? The further down you press your R button or your L button, whichever button you choose or you will set for it, the character in the game or whatever would like pull the lever down further and further and further more, right? That's precise. Even the attention to detail when you fall over or whatever, however character catches the shell, it isn't upright anymore, it's upside down. Yeah, fine details, man, that I definitely do appreciate. But yeah, so I'm going to be trying my best here with this. But really and truly, it's not exactly as it is on GameCube. I'm using a Pro controller, so the controller is a lot to the point that, you know, Nintendo knows this, and then this video game is Nintendo's baby. So it's like these video games, they recently, with the Nintendo Switch 2, they've included Nintendo GameCube now into the Nintendo Online, like, practically virtual console list, right? And after all that I've just said is definitely true, they, in case you don't know about this, you know now, the Nintendo GameCube is known by a lot of people to be the best video game controller ever created. Not just the most unique, the best controller, right? They have for sale on the Nintendo store more modernized Nintendo GameCube controllers. Although it isn't a fully new thing, like they're Bluetooth, like you just sync them like to your Switch 1 or Switch 2, just like you do with the Pro controller. And I know for a fact that is definitely them, you know, like bringing the GameCube controller that, you know, you could at best experience the GameCube games in the controller sensitivity that they were made for, right? And those have no wires. I think there's one for wires as well. You can get the wired one, or you can get the more modernized GameCube controller that literally is just a Bluetooth controller, and it has the exact same, yeah. You can go check right now on the Nintendo store if you knew nothing about those and you're a collector or something. Maybe you didn't watch, you know, you're not one of those that goes ahead and watches every single Nintendo Direct live stream. You possibly know nothing about those. Truly awesome. Yeah. Well, that's not what I'm using now, so I'm just going to try my best here with these turns. Try not to drive into items that I could easily dodge otherwise. The precision is not the same, man. It is not. Alright, so a lot of people are, the water's done. I don't think it's going to come back up until I reach here. It is. I don't think it's going to be that bad. If you can pass here before the, you know, the darkened part of the water reaches, or the water's done, then you get, like, you know, full advantage from taking that shortcut. But like what just happened there, that was a mini shortcut. The water is already rising, we got slowed down quite a bit. Yeah. Just got that there. Just for the sake of it. First try, yeah. There's only one by the time we reach the end of this list, we get the Mario Kart World, and then it starts from the beginning, you know, from Super Mario Kart with the 100cc. It's only from there that these get, you know, like, truly hectic. So me playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart World recently 150cc, this is a bit unamusing for me, to be honest, but we're gonna get there, you know. Yeah, eventually. Something like that. Because if you do get hit by something, you're just going to lose them. Yeah. Switch you to the front so that you can get the other item, makes no difference. So, this switches it up a lot. This is the first Mario Kart game that I want to get. Something else I was talking about, we're going to talk about that after this. This is the first Mario Kart game that includes 2 drivers, not just one. Right, so this game, especially in 150cc, this game is like hectic, I must say, like truly hectic. Like when people just start tossing bombs and such, and like everyone has the speed to like whiz past you if you slip, it gets intense. Right, so what I was gonna say next as well, the graphics in this game, right? This is one of the only very few video games I've seen that has survived into the 2020s, I have to say, like when it comes to graphics and such, right? Most games, even Metroid Prime, because you know Metroid Prime 4 is about to launch on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, right? even Metroid Prime, they like need some sort of upscale. Is why they released a remaster for Metroid Prime on Nintendo Switch One. But this game, because of its graphic style and such, like the edges and stuff aren't as noticeable, right? So imagine if this game was ever remastered. This game would be gorgeous. Like, I've gotta say, this game did so well graphically. It is crazy. No need for upscale. Everything still looks nice. It is still playable into the 2020s. This is one of the most amazing graphic styles that they've ever went with. I do have to say it. Gorgeous. Alright, so on to the final race here. And that is Dry Desert. So this is where things get really technical, you know, the jumps, and you've got to drive through those, whatever the hell you call those, I can't remember. You know, calamaris. Calamari Desert. Whatever the heck you call those, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not that nerdy into Nintendo, although I'm a major Nintendo fan. I never cared too much to, you know, learn what those are called, and they haven't been mentioned, I should say, also in Mario titles as much. It's not a name you hear a lot. Whatever the heck those things are, dang it, gotcha. Like, you hear Twomps, you hear Goombas are the most known. You hear Bombs, but what? Someone could drop some sort of answer in the comments, don't be shy, if you wanna. What the hell do you call these things? And you can't even hit them down with a shell or anything, so you just gotta drive and maneuver. And like I was mentioning earlier too, this is not a GameCube controller, so I was one of the best drivers amongst my friends. We're all like huddled in front of the TV, you know, snacks or no snacks, just gaming, and I was one of the best out of the bunch, out of the crew, whatever you call it. So I'm still adjusting, right? This is one of my best, you know, like, drifting is really smooth and fluent. You could even just hold your R button, let me see the spark starting there already, and then drift when you're ready. Yeah. This has some, I don't want to get pulled into that. Although this is only second lap, there's no time to you know, window. I didn't even see, so the over the hill camera and stuff could really mess you up in this. Like, I didn't, like, that banana peel was totally on scene, totally. That, drop that there. I love dropping items by the item boxes, because, you know, the CPUs have a hard time dodging and they need the items, right? And a lot of people, person or AI or CPU in this case, I don't think these are self-learning like what we got around the 2016, 2013, 2014 one, right? So the CPU almost always drive into these and we drop them by the item boxes. Watch out for the dang tornadoes. Dang it. That was right there. I figure the CPU might have driven into that by now, but you're so far ahead that by the time we looped in, maybe they didn't even reach certain parts of the map. But definitely they would have passed there already, so that's it. I just did this twice over because, like I told you, unless you forgot or you didn't hear, I forgot to continue to, you know, hit play again on the timer when I was doing this the first time around. And this is the same, pretty much the same as GBA, like 15 minutes. Like, it was that for the first episode when we were playing Super Circuit. So this is pretty much the same. Nice. Award ceremony, please. Unless something really funny or really interesting happened in that race, we would then just, you know, go peep into the, you know, the replay option. See it again. This cart, I'm so sorry, it's 2025. If you don't like spoilers, then you should go back in time. I'm so sorry, but this cart here that we replaced on in the award ceremony, we get this card, then we get 150 in everything. Then we get like gold in every cup in this game. We get that card. Like, it's so insane. Like unlocking it is crazy. Yeah. So because they already got gold, usually you enter your name and all of that, but because they already got gold, I think that's what that was. We just go ahead and progress to the title screen. So that's the first episode there. Remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Yeah, and stay tuned for the next episode. This has been Mr. Pokemon 907. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.